Two sets of spikes, pressing against Turul's body, began to retract. Slowly and methodically, the menacing metal teeth withdrew, releasing the pressure on his muscular torso. This temporary relief marked the first stage of a new phase in his captivity, signaling a transition from constant compression to a brief reprieve, as he awaited the following sequence of events. The chamber then reverberated with another round of clanks, as the hoist mechanism above slowly engaged, pulling the horizontal bar upward. The chains attached firmly to this bar bore the total weight of the well-built prisoner's suspended body. Shackled at the wrists, his form was gradually lifted from the depths of the pit. The strain on his wrists was palpable, each chain link taut with the burden of his muscular, sweat-slicked body. Gradually, the muscular torso came into view, stretched taut, as he was hoisted upwards, each defined muscle accentuated under the strain. The flickering lights from the pit below cast a sheen on his sweat-glistened skin, highlighting the resilience etched in his physique. The punctured wounds on his broad chest and back, marks of his recent ordeal, stood out starkly, underscoring his enduring spirit amidst the torment. The hoist relentlessly pulled upwards, lifting Turul until his legs, forcibly held apart by the unyielding spreader bar, dangled above the dungeon's stone floor. As the machinery halted, he was left suspended in midair, fully naked, completely restrained, and utterly exposed. This scene, where his formidable physique contrasted starkly with his vulnerable state, embodied strength and helplessness. This was the first time the evil king had beheld the full extent of his prized captive's form. Turul, the defiant rebel leader, was displayed before him. Every line and curve of his muscular physique was fully exposed, capturing his attention entirely. Rossz's eyes were filled with dark admiration and malevolent satisfaction, as he gazed upon this prime specimen, now at his mercy. The sight stirred perverse anticipation within him, delighting in his absolute control over such a formidable adversary. Meanwhile, Turul, acutely aware of his vulnerable state, experienced a surge of defiance, mixed with a cold realization of his display as a mere object of the king's wicked fascination. This moment intensified their contrasting experiences, Rossz's pleasure in his unchallenged power, and Turul's steely resolve not to succumb to the humiliation of his plight. Then, Turul's suspended form was drawn horizontally closer to Rossz, and the physical gap between the captive and the captor narrowed. This shift in proximity heightened the intensity of their encounter. Draped in the trappings of his authority, Rossz observed with a deepening sense of entitlement and pleasure, his gaze fixating on his prisoner's formidable physique, as it was brought near. Turul, feeling the oppressive closeness of his tormentor, was consumed by a mix of anger and an indomitable will to resist. Methodically, the prisoner's feet, secured in the ankle spreader, hovered just above the first descending step at the boundary of the two rooms, where the sadistic king sat leisurely sipping his wine. This meticulous positioning placed the captive's muscular chest directly at eye level, creating an intensely intimate and confrontational setting. It was the perfect alignment for the captor to scrutinize his quarry, framing the formidable physique perfectly within his direct gaze. Before Turul could react to his precarious new position, Endra acted swiftly. Securing both free ends of the ankle spreader to the hook rings, embedded in the vertical face of the first step. This quick action further immobilized his restrained form, ensuring no attempt of any physical retaliation. These additional measures heightened his vulnerability, emphasizing the meticulous control exerted over him, and leaving him utterly at the mercy of his captor's whims. The seasoned fighter instinctively tensed every muscle in his body, in response to his increased immobilization, his gaze lifting to his arms, stretched and firmly shackled high above. Across from him, his primary adversary relished the moment, visibly delighting in observing his muscular captive from such a close range. Yet, this intense scrutiny was only a prelude to the ongoing ordeal that awaited him. Suddenly, another set of clanking noises echoed through the chamber as the horizontal bar to which Turul was shackled was pulled upwards, exerting force against the ankle spreader that bound his legs below. This action stretched his naked form to its limits, tearing him taut in a grueling display of restraint. As the tension increased, even more force was applied, ensuring that the sinewy torso was utterly immobilized, leaving no room for any movement from the captive. The defiant rebel gritted his teeth, his chin compressing tightly, a clear sign of discomfort. He extended his head upward, deliberately avoiding eye contact with his captor, who observed him from a close distance. This subtle defiance elicited a soft laugh from Rossz, amused by his captive's effort to maintain some semblance of control in the face of such intimate scrutiny. Finally, with a wave of his hand and a dismissive tone, King Rossz issued a command to his trusted attendant.
"You may leave us now, and do not intrude."
This order heightened Turul's senses, leaving him on high alert, as he realized he would soon be alone with the evil king. An encounter that promised to be perilous and intimate.